So I'm not sure how happy Mrs. Wilson is about me invading her kitchen with all my robot making, but here's what I've done so far this morning. I have cut pieces of wood to be the same length as my legs, and my lower leg is 55 centimetres, so that is 55 centimetres from there to there. And the upper part of my leg, even though it's thicker, is slightly shorter at 50 centimetres there. Now I have to have joints, so I need to create a circle there. I'm going to cut around the circle, and just conveniently my espresso glass is exactly the right size, so I put that there. Now let's measure these. So the circle is 6 centimetres across. So that means the centre of the circle is 3 centimetres into the circle. A piece of wood then is 6 centimetres thick. The piece of wood is also about 3.5 centimetres thick that way. So it's, let's say, 6 centimetres wide and 3.5 centimetres thick. And what I'm going to do is measure a point halfway through there and there, and then I'm going to cut half of this away and leave the other half with a curved joint there. Now I wouldn't advise doing this if I were you, because I'm cutting with one hand and I'm videoing with the other. What I'm doing is sawing along my lines to make my joints. I think I'll stop now and be a bit safer. So this is what I'm aiming at, a joint that will be half a circle on that side and cut away on that side. And when I'm doing it, put this into the vise. I've cut halfway through there, I put it into the vise and I saw. Again, I wouldn't advise this. I'll try and make my first saw cuts with one hand while I'm videoing. Scrape the wood to make the first cuts. And then the great thing with these tools is you just run it through the wood. You don't have to push down. The teeth do all the work. I cut along the lines. So things have moved a lot faster than I thought, and I have a pair of legs now. I've also acquired a puppy in the meantime. Mrs. Wilson isn't hugely happy about. Here you can see I've created some feet by cutting wood and using the two pieces I've cut together, and I've now bolted my joints together, and there's the hip bones, and that's where the knees are. What fun. And here he is having a bit of a rest on our bench before he goes inside for some interior work. There's a lot of building to do. Unfortunately, we ran out of time in the day, so he sat down for the evening and got in the way generally. And just for fun, I put my shoes on him, and it just shows his feet are the same size as mine. So for those of you worried, his feet are big enough to hold him up. Well, the robot has now got so big that I have to stand 4 meters away to get the whole of him or her or them into the video. So I'll just move up now. See the joints of the knees, the joints at the hips, and 2 great big bolts holding his wind-up body onto him. There are his shoulders. Unfortunately, he's got a bit of a twisted spine, but we can't all be perfect. And why shouldn't he have a twisted spine? I'm going to try and show you the mechanism that made me think of this. When I took it apart, I noticed that it go round. Yes, it does go round. So I thought about the wind-up robot, and perhaps the fan in the middle being what is like our breathing, the wind-up part being a bit like our heart. And here he is part built. I'm using triangular construction for the arms. The hands were really tricky. Each finger trying to make it out of a triangle and make joints. And also trying to get his arms to bend and stay bent was quite difficult. I gave up in the end. And he's not smoking a pipe. One of his fingers has got out of shape. There comes a point in every art project where you have to stop, and it's come now. So here is the Iron Man, Roz, the robot, or whoever you want to call them. Starting at the base, very solid base, feet screwed to it, ankle joints bolted. All the brown and blue wires are meant to be like the veins and arteries. Shin protectors. Hands were very difficult, made with card and all our leftover bits of aluminium. I had an old hard disk drive which came in useful, and lots of wires. The part in the middle is my old hose reel. That's where I got the inspiration for this. The idea of a spring inside and cogs and a fan. Up at the top, there's our old wireless headphones and the receiver which act as the eyes and ears. This is aluminium art mesh. Very dangerous to work with because you can cut yourself, but if you wear gloves you can shape it. Just bits of old cardboard covered in used aluminium foil. And at the back, I made the spine out of threaded rod, steel rod, so it has a bend and a whip to it, a bit like a real spine. I've even got some vertebrae in it. Nice solid pelvis there. And then we have Eduardo Palozzi. A little bit of human there in the robot's head, and some mechanical designs on the arms. Here are some of Eduardo Palozzi's artworks. These are the ones that I found on the internet and printed off. And there's a lot of colour in them, but there's also a lot of geometric and mechanical shapes there. He's looked at machines, you can see, and then he's applied colour where there just would have been grey and silver with steel. Beautiful things. And if you go to Tottenham Court Road Tube Station, you can see this particular mosaic on site. Here's his head again. And hopefully his hands aren't too scary. I found some spray paints at home, so I did a silver base coat and then applied a bit of rusty brown, some stone effect, just to make it look as if he's been outside a bit, and a few smears of green. I also had a bit of silver glitter left over, so I put that on as well, just to cover up the bits that look a little bit like card and wood. I hope you have enjoyed Robotswood Art Week as much as I have, and learnt as much as I have.